In the heart of the picturesque town of Crestwood, nestled amongst rolling hills and lush greenery, stood the opulent villa of the town's wealthiest resident, Maxwell Harrington. With its sprawling gardens, elegant columns, and a breathtaking view of the valley below, it was the envy of everyone in town. One fateful evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, leaving the sky painted in the shades of orange and purple, a lavish dinner party was in full swing at the Harrington Villa. Maxwell Harrington was known for his extravagant gatherings, and tonight's event was no exception. The guest list included the town's elite, politicians, business tycoons, and socialites, all dressed in their finest attire, clinking crystal glasses filled with champagne. Among the guests was the renowned detective, Samuel Hawthorne, who had been invited at Maxwell's request. Maxwell was concerned about recent strange occurrences around his villa, and he sought Hawthorne's expertise in solving the mystery. As the night progressed, laughter and music filled the air, but an undercurrent of tension was palpable. Whispers circulated through the crowd about missing jewelry and mysterious sounds heard in the halls. Just when the party seemed to be at its peak, a chilling scream pierced the night, causing the music to stop and the laughter to fade. The guests rushed to the source of the scream, only to find Maxwell Harrington lying lifeless in his luxurious study, a crimson pool surrounding his body. His usually jovial face was frozen in terror, and a golden letter opener lay next to him, stained with his blood. The guests rushed to the source of the scream, only to find Maxwell Harrington lying lifeless in his luxurious study, a crimson pool surrounding his body. His usually jovial face was frozen in terror, and a golden letter opener lay next to him, stained with his blood. Panic ensued as the guests gathered around the gruesome scene. The room was in disarray, with furniture overturned and priceless artwork damaged. It was clear that a struggle had taken place. Detective Samuel Hawthorne, with his sharp mind and keen eye, took charge of the situation. He ordered the guests to remain in the study while he examined the crime scene. Hawthorne meticulously inspected every detail, from the position of the furniture to the smudged footprints on the plush carpet. He deduced that there had indeed been a struggle between Maxwell and his assailant. Hawthorne then interviewed the guests one by one. Suspicion hung heavy in the air as he questioned each person, revealing their secrets, grievances, and alibis. Tensions rose as the night wore on, and trust among the once merry crowd dwindled. The detective narrowed down his list of suspects to 3 individuals who had been near the study around the time of the murder: Victoria Harrington, Maxwell's estranged wife, who stood to inherit a vast fortune; Richard Landon, Maxwell's business partner, who had been in a heated argument with him earlier in the evening; and Emily Drake, the enigmatic pianist who had disappeared during the commotion but was later found hiding in the garden. Hawthorne pieced together the puzzle. He discovered that Emily Drake had been secretly involved with Richard Landon, and they had conspired to kill Maxwell and frame Victoria for the murder. Emily's motive was to secure a future with Richard, while Richard sought to take control of Maxwell's wealth and assets. Hawthorne confronted Emily and Richard with his evidence, and as the truth unfolded, Emily broke down and confessed to the crime. Richard, though shocked by Emily's confession, had little choice but to corroborate her story. In the end, justice was served. Emily and Richard were arrested, and Victoria was cleared of any involvement in her husband's murder. The town of Crestwood breathed a sigh of relief, and the Harrington Villa, once a symbol of opulence and excess, stood as a reminder that even in the midst of wealth, darkness could lurk. As Detective Samuel Hawthorne left the villa that night, he knew that his job was done. The mystery had been solved, and Crestwood would once again sleep peacefully beneath the watchful gaze of the stars.